Hey everyone, and welcome to the Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're tuning in today. We're going to embark on an exciting investigation into, well, one of the most incredible biological machines in the entire universe, the human body. If you've ever wondered how you can run, jump, think, and heal all at the exact same time, you are definitely in the right place. Today we're exploring how the human body works, not as a bunch of isolated parts, but as a massive, perfectly synchronized team. So let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this roadmap for today's Grade 7 Life Science investigation. We're looking at 1. The solo system myth. 2. Structure meets function. 3. Systems working together. 4. Claim, evidence, reasoning. And finally, 5. Your exit question.
First up on the agenda is Section 1, the solo system myth. Let's bust this misconception.
You know, it's really easy to think of our organs kind of like a collection of separate machines in a factory. That's the myth. You might think the heart just pumps blood, the lungs just breathe air, and the bones just stand there holding you up, all doing their own thing in total isolation. But the reality? Well, the reality is that human body systems are an incredibly interconnected team. Throughout this explainer, we're going to absolutely bust this solo myth using some concrete evidence straight from our life science chapters.
So, to bust that myth, we first need to look at Section 2, Structure Meets Function.
This brilliantly illustrates our first major piece of evidence from Chapter 14. Imagine we're back in the lab doing a chicken wing dissection. When we mentally peel back the layers, we see three distinct systems that absolutely depend on one another. First, the skin provides this tough outer layer for protection. Right beneath that, the muscular system provides the tension for movement, and deep inside, the bone gives us that rigid skeletal structure. You quickly realize during a hands-on experience like this that a muscle is literally useless if it has an anchor to a bone. And the bone, it can't go anywhere without the muscle pulling it. They are structurally designed to be a team.
But that brings up a really fascinating question. If your muscles want to move those bones, who do they need to ask for help? I mean, they don't just decide to move on their own, right? They need a signal. They need a direct command from the nervous system, which is what we dive into in Chapter 18. Your brain has to perceive the environment and then send a lightning-fast message down to those muscles. So this goes to show us that even a super simple movement requires the skeletal, muscular, and nervous systems to talk to each other instantly.
Now, what's really interesting about this next part is that keeping the whole organism alive requires an even deeper level of teamwork. Let's look at Section 3, Systems Working Together.
Let's check out the incredible dynamic between the systems we explore in Chapter 16, which honestly acts like a beautiful relay race. Step 1. Respiration brings in vital oxygen. But here's the thing. Oxygen sitting in your lungs doesn't help your toes at all unless it can travel. Enter Step 2. Circulation pumps it via the heart. Think back to those clay heart models and the breathing rate activities from our curriculum. The heart is physically pumping that newly oxygenated blood throughout this massive highway of veins and arteries. And finally, Step 3. Cells receive vital energy. So the respiratory system and the circulatory system are essentially best friends. One provides the cargo, and the other provides the transportation.
Let's see how this builds by bringing in a few more key players from Chapters 15 and 17. Because let's face it, oxygen alone just isn't enough. The digestive system has to step in to break down food, just like in those digestion models we designed in class, so your body can actually absorb the essential nutrients. Then the excretory system acts as the cleanup crew, processing and getting rid of the waste left behind. And wrapped around this whole shebang is the immune system, constantly defending the entire operation from infections and disease. So from nutrient absorption to waste removal and disease prevention, every single one of these systems is working overtime just to ensure the rest of the body team can safely do its job.
Now that we've gathered all these pieces of the puzzle, let's formalize our investigation with Section 4, Claim, Evidence, Reasoning.
We start with our overarching claim. Human body systems rely on each other to support life and movement. We are firmly stating that the solo system myth is completely false. But hey, as scientists, we can't just throw a claim out there. We've got to back it up with hard data.
And that brings us to our evidence. Looking at our first source, the Chapter 14 chicken wing dissection, the physical evidence shows that skeletal and muscular structures are physically bound together to create movement. Next, we have Chapter 16, which covers our hands-on breathing rate and clay heart experiments. The evidence there? The respiratory system captures oxygen but relies entirely on the circulatory system to transport it to the cells. These aren't just dry textbook facts, guys. These are observable realities right from our life science labs.
So,
The crucial point is our reasoning, which is the glue that connects our evidence right to our claim. Because structures like muscles cannot operate without signals from the nervous system and oxygen from the circulatory system, no single body system can work independently. The evidence absolutely supports the claim. The solo system myth is officially busted.
We've covered some amazing biological teamwork today. But before we wrap up, we arrive at Section 5, your exit question.
Imagine you're outside and you suddenly break into a run. I want you to think about how your nervous system, your respiratory system, and your muscular system have to instantly communicate and collaborate to keep you moving. Like, which system actually notices you need to move, which one demands more oxygen, and which system does the physical pulling? I really want you to mentally map out that incredible biological relay race. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer today. The human body is a spectacular, interconnected team, and you now have the solid evidence to prove it. Keep observing, keep questioning, and I'll catch you next time.